All right, welcome to this week's podcast. We are joined in studio by some of our girls basketball players. Lots of great things happened last week. We want to recap a little bit what's going on from last week, talk to these athletes, and preview what's coming this coming week. Last week, on Tuesday the 18th, we hosted one of our first ever playoff games in the first round. We hosted Xavier Prep. If you don't know who Xavier Prep is, it's one of the bigger prep schools, private schools. We took care of business. We jumped out to a good lead. We hung on towards the end. We ran into some foul trouble, but at the same time, a win's a win, and we took care of business and beat a private school on our home court. We had an awesome fan participation, awesome attendance. It was really great to see everybody in the gym. Because we won in the first round, we moved on to the second round into the quarterfinals, the Elite Eight, which was awesome to see our girls in the Elite Eight. We ran into Pinnacle on Thursday. Pinnacle was a big, strong team. They had a girl that was pretty tall. We came up just barely short, but our girls gave their guts and everything out there on the court. Ended up coming up a little bit short, but we are very proud of them, and we'll talk to them here in a second. Baseball and softball had scrimmages as they prepare for their spring sports, which they'll kick off officially this coming week. I know we've got some scrimmages coming up this week and some tournaments and some of our first games. But before we get into next week, we are joined in studio. I'll let the girls introduce themselves. They're all seniors. They're all seniors on our girls basketball team. They are not only our athletes of the week, but they are the athletes of the winter sports season, along with Talia Armstrong, our state champion girls wrestler. But girls, how's it going? We'll start over here with Sydney. Sydney, go ahead and introduce yourself. You don't have to tell them you're a senior because I already told them that.
I'm Sydney Carlos.
Sydney Carlos, she's our Swiss Army knife. She plays a little down low, a little up top. Next.
I'm Daisy Asian.
Daisy, she's also one of our perimeter shooters. She gets it done.
I'm Ariel John.
Ariel John, our point guard. She's the distributor, the jack of all trades. And last but not least,
Morningstar Scabby.
Morningstar Scabby, also affectionately known as Bucky, from what we're told. So we have all four girls in studio, part of our great region championship girls basketball team. I'll start over here with Avery. How do you feel like this season stacked up compared to our expectations going into it?
I feel like we wanted to beat a lot of teams in our region, like especially Dobson and Mesa. We wanted those big games because like those are the games we lost last season, and we just really wanted to just win.
Yeah, and we did. We finished the regular season 17-1, region champions, first time in school history. Dace, how do you feel like that stacked up to your expectations, winning that region championship for the first time?
I feel like it's pretty cool that now that the girls next year have more like expectation to get it again and try harder for something bigger than just region.
Absolutely, yeah. So you guys kind of set that bar, and now that bar's been raised, we've got those expectations like you talked about. Let's talk to you, Sydney. Now, talk to me about the region this year. How did we navigate through that region as well as we did?
It's just practice. We practice what every team does, and I think that's what made us good was we prepared for every team, and we just tried to do our best in games and against the region teams, especially Dobson. We lost our first game against them, but we had a chip on our shoulder the second time we played them. That's how we beat them.
Yep, and that was awesome to see. We beat them after losing to them, our only regular season loss. Bucky, what do you think the difference was between Game 1 versus Dobson and Game 2 versus Dobson?
I think the first game we had, I felt like the energy wasn't a bit up, but I guess the second time around we knew we wanted it more and everyone in the program wanted it more. So energy came up, and then everyone who's playing on the floor, they picked up that energy, and then it just went off.
Right, and I've asked this question before. I'll leave it open to whoever wants to answer it. If you haven't seen our basketball team in the gym, how would you describe our style of play?
I feel like our style of play is a lot of just running gun. It's like a lot of running and shooting, and aggressive defense and pressing, but it's mostly just running and it's just shooting.
Run and gun. I love that term, the run and gun. We're just gonna get up and down the court. We're gonna wear people down. We're gonna shoot a lot of shots. We're gonna play pesky defense. I want to talk a little bit about defense right now. I know that all of you guys play really great defense. I'll ask Sydney. Sydney, how do you feel like our defense stacks up to other teams? I refer to you guys as like those like swarm of bees. Like you can't get off. How would you describe our defensive efforts this year?
I think since like we're so small and we don't have that many height, the other teams overlook us and think, oh, they're small, they're nothing, and then I think that's what motivates us is because we know that we think that, and it's like heart over height, and we gotta use that a lot.
Very well said. I would definitely say heart over height. I know a lot of teams were probably really bugged by us because every time they thought they had a clean break or they had a clean lane, we'd kind of swarm on them like that swarm of bees. Now let's rewind a little bit. Let's go back to Tuesday. Tuesday we hosted Xavier. How did that feel to? I'll ask you, Daisy. How did it feel to have that home crowd there on Tuesday against Xavier?
It was good. It felt like it brought everyone's energy up, and whenever you felt down, like you couldn't feel down because everyone was here, like cheering you on and encouraging, and it just felt cool that all the family and people came to come support us when they didn't even have to be there. It fed off a lot of energy. And
yeah, I would definitely agree. It was very energetic. It was an AIA game, so the prices were a little bit higher to get in. People still were paying to get in. We gave away foam fingers to the first 100 people. We had 50 students that were eating pizza for the first 50 students. You guys got your region championship shirts. There was a lot of things going on Tuesday, but you hit it right on the head. There was so much energy. It was so much positive energy. Bucky, have you ever played in a game like that before?
No.
It was pretty crazy, right? I mean, it was probably one of our biggest crowd. I think it was probably our biggest crowd of the year. What do you think?
And at Pinnacle too.
Oh yeah, and that's exactly what I wanted to. So fast forward a little bit. We 2 days later we traveled up to Pinnacle up in North Scottsdale. I'll let you kind of describe the crowd in Pinnacle.
It was so loud, like I couldn't hear what the coaches were saying, and it was so cool to see like a whole bunch of orange everywhere, and like half of the side was like Pinnacle, and then like the other side was Westwood, and I thought it was very cool that I've never seen like our fans like come to another school and fill the whole bleachers like that.
Yep, and I would say and this is not a stretch. I would say we doubled their fans at least, maybe even a little bit more. Yeah. They had a home game, but it felt a lot like our home game. They were the second-ranked team. They had a girl that was 6'6". How was it playing against a girl that's 6'6"? How tall are we?
Like 5'2".
5'2", 5'5", 5'7". We had a girl that was 6'6". We were playing up against her. What was it like playing up against that type of height?
It was pretty hard. She's really tall, so it's kind of hard to move her, but that's what you expect out of a tall person is for her to get the rebounds for Pinnacle and have putbacks. And I think that's what killed us was just her height. It wasn't enough for us.
Yeah, we definitely shut her down in the first half, I felt like, and she just got some of those I call them the easy putbacks when your hands almost touch the rim already. They were a little bit easier to put back, but I thought we shut her down in the first half. We definitely shut down their power scorer. She wasn't as effective as she normally is. I know they've moved on to the semis, but we gave them everything that they wanted and more. I think they were expecting, like a lot of teams do, I think they look at us and they say, oh, they're 5'7", 5'5", 5'2", whatever it is, and they kind of take us lightly. But I definitely felt like, just like Sydney alluded to earlier, it's definitely that heart over height. We were very proud Westwood Warriors that day. I know that it had to hurt being your last game, but I thought that it was definitely, you guys left it out all on the floor, and there's nothing to be disappointed about this season, because I definitely think you guys laid the groundwork for future teams and future girls. I know we have a lot of young talent coming back. So I'll kind of transition into next season. If you guys were to give any advice to the returners, the juniors, the sophomores, and the freshmen, what would your advice be so that they can take that next step next season? Anybody?
Start practicing now because it's gonna go like that real quick, and like your season's already gonna start. So I'd say practice right now.
Get that work in now. What about you?
Just keep working hard and just like enjoy time with your teammates and like make memories and just give everything you got every game.
Okay.
I'd say to remember to have fun, that don't take anything for granted, and make sure that you're practicing hard and not taking it lightly, and that to encourage others.
What they said was just to have fun and cherish every moment, because then, like what Bucky said too, it's gonna go by fast, and like there's always a time and place to always goof around and take things serious. And I think when you're on the court, it's time to be serious, and it's okay to have fun sometimes, but not all the time.
All right. I like it. Lots of good advice for these girls that have been involved with the basketball program. Like I said before, we're super proud of our basketball team. First time in school history, East Valley region champions. A lot of teams underestimated us. We took care of business in the region. We took care of business in our preseason games. We had a lot of good things going for us, and we thank these seniors for laying that groundwork for future teams and for future people that participate in our girls basketball program. It was definitely awesome to see that. Fast forwarding to this week as we transition out and look forward to this week. Baseball's playing in a tournament starting this week. Wednesday, Thursday, I believe they play in the Donnafield tournament. That'll go all weekend. Girls softball, they host a tournament this week with Dobson. It's the Westwood Dobson Invitational Tournament. So that's going to be exciting to see both of those teams play games that aren't scrimmages. Beach volleyball plays their first game Wednesday, the 26th at Shadow Ridge. So it's kind of a travel game for them as they kick off their season. Boys and girls tennis will play Camelback. Boys tennis will travel to Camelback. Girls tennis will stay home and host Camelback. Friday, Saturday, finishes up the baseball softball tournament. And then track travels to South Mountain on Saturday the 29th for their first track meet of the year. Girls, you guys got any plans? You guys playing any other sports?
I plan on playing softball.
Softball. Bucky's going to play softball? Track. Doing anything?
No.
Kind of getting ready for the graduation? Yeah. What's planned? What's going? Bucky, what are you doing after high school?
Plan on going to Utah, UVU.
UVU? I'm a Utah State guy, so I won't hold that against you. UVU, what do you want to do at UVU?
I plan on going to their nursing program.
Awesome. Abe, what's you doing?
I'm still deciding right now.
All right, that's all right. You got a couple months to decide. But what are you thinking about?
Either playing basketball or just going to college.
Okay, awesome.
I'm just going with the flow.
I like it. Go with that flow. You guys got a couple months to kind of get your feet under you, get graduation. Sydney, what do you got going?
Probably go to SEC in my first 2 years just to get into that college feel, and NAU after.
NAU going to lumberjack style. I like it. So we got lots of great things. Guys, again, congratulations on your season. Good luck to you. Obviously, you'll always be Westwood Warriors, so I hope you guys come back in the gym and say hi and see your teammates play next year. And again, thank you for laying that groundwork for this season. It was a special season, and it takes good senior leadership like we had this year to do that. That's all the podcast we have for today. Thank you to our athletes of the winter, our senior girls basketball players. They did an incredible job this year. Shout out to the players. Shout out to the coaches. Also, shout out to Talia. Couldn't find Talia this morning, so she couldn't come. But she's also one of our athletes of the season, being a state champion. Hope to see you guys on the fields. We got softball, track. We got baseball. We've got beach volleyball, boys volleyball, tennis. We got a little bit of everything coming up, so we'll start pulling in those athletes starting next week. But we hope to see you back here at the podcast starting next week. Thanks for coming in. All right, dudes. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.